My child, stop scrolling and listen carefully, because this moment was not placed before you by accident. I know how quickly your attention moves, how easily your focus is pulled away, and how often the important things are missed because they do not shout the loudest. But I am not here to compete with noise. I am here to reach you. What I am about to place in your spirit is not something you can afford to ignore. This is not just another message passing by your eyes. This is a call, and it is meant specifically for you. Right now, in this exact moment, I see you more clearly than you see yourself. I understand the weight you carry, even the parts you do not speak about. I know the confusion that has been clouding your thoughts and the quiet questions that have been growing inside your heart. You have been searching for clarity, for direction, for something that feels real and steady. That is why I am speaking to you now. Not to overwhelm you but to ground you. Not to scare you but to prepare you. You are not here by coincidence. You are here because your spirit was ready to hear this. If this video is truly meant just for you, then pause for a moment and look within yourself. Are you walking a path of truth, patience, and faith? Do you try to stay honest in your actions and believe in the higher power that guides you every day? If your answer is yes, then this message is for you. You were chosen because you are able to listen, understand, and create change. Don't overthink it. Just feel that inner voice guiding you in the right direction. Now, there's a small step you can take. If this message touched you, you can offer a little support so this inspiration can reach more people. It doesn't have to be much. You can start with just $3 or choose $5 or $10. The link is in the description. Your small contribution can bring light into someone else's life, and it can inspire you as well. Join in and be part of this journey. You have been surrounded by distractions that were never meant to build you, only to delay you. And slowly, without even realizing it, you started giving your energy to things that could never return peace to you. I watched as your focus was pulled in different directions, as your time was consumed by moments that left you feeling empty instead of fulfilled. But I did not step away from you. I stayed close, waiting for the moment when you would be still enough to receive what truly matters. There is a reason you feel different lately. A reason why certain things no longer satisfy you the way they once did. That restlessness you feel is not confusion, it is awakening. It is your spirit recognizing that you are meant for more than repetition, more than distraction, more than just getting through each day without purpose. You were not created to simply exist. You were created to move with intention, to grow with clarity, and to live with meaning. I need you to understand something clearly. Not everything that captures your attention deserves your energy. Not everything that feels urgent is important. You have been trained to react quickly, to move fast, to consume without pause. But growth does not happen in chaos. Clarity does not come from constant noise. And peace cannot live where your attention is always divided. That is why I am asking you to slow down, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. You may not realize it yet, but your attention is one of the most valuable things you possess. Where you place it shapes your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape the direction of your life. So when your attention is constantly scattered, your path becomes unclear. That is not your destiny, that is a result of distraction, and it can be changed, starting with this moment. There are things ahead of you that require focus, strength, and awareness. Things that you will miss if you continue moving without intention. I am not saying this to pressure you, but to prepare you. Because what is coming into your life will require a version of you that is more present, more grounded, and more aware than you have been before. And that version of you is already within you, waiting to be activated. You have been underestimating yourself, not because you lack ability, but because you have been surrounded by noise that made you forget your clarity. When everything around you is loud, it becomes difficult to hear your own direction. But I am bringing you back to that place. A place where your thoughts are steady, where your heart is calm, and where your steps are guided with purpose instead of pressure. Do not rush away from this moment. Do not treat this like something ordinary. There are messages that pass by every day, but this is not one of them. This is a moment of alignment. A moment where you are being called to pay attention, not to the world around you, but to what is being placed within you. Because what is inside you will always matter more than what is trying to pull you outward. You are not behind, you are not lost, you are being redirected. Every pause you have experienced, every delay that confused you, every moment where things did not move the way you expected, they were not punishments. They were protection, they were preparation. They were positioning you for something that requires a stronger, clearer, and more focused version of you. And now, that moment is getting closer. But before you step into it, you must become aware of what drains you, aware of what distracts you, aware of what no longer belongs in your space. Because you cannot move forward clearly if you are still holding on to things that were only meant for a past version of you. So stay here, stay present. Do not scroll past this feeling, do not ignore this pause, because this is where your shift begins. My child, now that you have slowed down enough to hear me, I need you to understand what has been happening around you and within you. There are patterns you have been overlooking, not because you are careless, but because you have been tired. Tired minds accept what alert spirits would question. And that is why I am speaking now, to wake you gently but clearly. Not everything that has entered your life was sent to grow you. Some things were allowed to reveal what does not belong. You have been giving your trust too easily in places where your spirit felt hesitation. You noticed it, but you dismissed it. That quiet discomfort you felt was not fear, it was awareness. I was showing you, but you chose to move past it. You must learn this now. Everything that feels familiar is not always safe. And everything that looks good is not always aligned with your path. There are influences around you that do not build you. They slowly drain you. Not all at once, but little by little, until you begin to feel disconnected from yourself. That is not coincidence. That is what happens when your energy is placed in the wrong spaces. I am not saying this to make you suspicious of everything. I am saying this so you become aware. Awareness is not fear. Awareness is protection. When you become aware, you begin to see clearly. You begin to recognize what lifts you and what lowers you. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. There are people, habits, and environments that have been pulling you away from your clarity. They may not appear harmful on the surface, but their effect on you tells the truth. Pay attention to how you feel after certain conversations, after certain distractions, after certain choices. Do you feel stronger or do you feel drained? That answer matters more than appearances. You have been ignoring your own signals. The moments when something felt off, the times when your energy dropped suddenly, the situations where you felt out of place, those were not random. That was your spirit responding. And I was there in those moments, trying to guide you away quietly. But now I need to make it clear. If you continue in the same patterns without awareness, you will delay what is meant for you. Not because it is being taken away, but because you are not aligned to receive it yet. Alignment requires clarity. And clarity requires truth. So I am giving you truth, even if it feels uncomfortable. There are attachments you are holding onto that no longer serve you. Some of them are emotional, some of them are mental. Some of them are connected to people who have already shifted out of alignment with your path. You feel it, but you hesitate to accept it. Letting go feels difficult, but holding on is what is keeping you stuck. You cannot step into what is meant for you while holding tightly to what was only meant to teach you. Every season has a purpose. But not every season is meant to last. And right now, you are standing at a point where you must choose. Comfort or growth, familiarity or alignment. I need you to be honest with yourself. There are things you already know deep inside. Things you have been avoiding because facing them would require change. But change is not your enemy. Avoidance is. Because avoidance keeps you in cycles that slowly weaken your clarity. You are not meant to stay confused. Confusion is a sign that something around you is not in order. And instead of trying to adjust yourself to fit that confusion, you must step back and observe it. What is causing it? What is repeatedly disturbing your peace? That is where your attention should go. You have also been underestimating the impact of small decisions. The little things you ignore, the small compromises you make, the moments where you go against what you feel. These build patterns. And patterns shape your direction. So if the pattern is misaligned, the path will feel heavy. But here is what you must understand clearly: you are not stuck. You are simply unaware of how much power your awareness holds. The moment you begin to see clearly, everything begins to shift. Not instantly, because clarity changes how you think, and how you think changes how you move. There are also voices around you that do not reflect truth. Opinions, expectations and pressures that try to shape your decisions. But you were not created to follow every voice. You were created to discern. To listen, but also to recognize what aligns and what does not. I have been trying to get your attention through small interruptions. Moments where plans did not go through. Times when things slowed down unexpectedly. Situations where you felt forced to pause. Those were not setbacks. Those were moments I created so you could step out of distraction and see clearly. But when you rushed back into noise, you missed the message. That is why I am speaking to you directly now. Because what is ahead of you requires awareness that you cannot gain while moving with opportunities coming. But not all opportunities are right for you. Some will test your discernment. They will look good, feel exciting, and seem easy. But they will not align with your long-term path. And if you are not aware, you may choose them out of impulse instead of clarity. So I am warning you now, do not choose quickly. Do not move just because something appears in front of you. Pause, feel, observe. Let your spirit respond before your mind reacts. Because reaction leads to repetition, but awareness leads to direction. You are being prepared for something greater, but preparation requires separation from what weakens you. And that begins with recognizing it. Not blaming it. Not fearing it. Just seeing it for what it is. This is not about perfection. This is about alignment. You will still make mistakes. You will still learn. But the difference now is that you will be aware while you are learning. And that awareness will protect you from repeating the same cycles. Do not ignore this message. Do not push it aside as something temporary. Sit with it. Reflect on it. Let it settle within you. Because what I am showing you now is not to overwhelm you. It is to guide you. You are being called to wake up, not in fear, but in clarity. Not in pressure, but in purpose. And the more you begin to see, the more you will understand why certain things had to feel the way they did. This is your moment to become aware. And once you do, everything begins to change.
My child, now I need you to understand something deeper than before. What I am about to show you is not meant to isolate you from the world, but to protect the direction of your life. There comes a point where growth requires separation. Not from love, but from what no longer aligns with your peace, your purpose, and your clarity. You have already felt it. That quiet inner shift, when certain things no longer feel right the way they used to. Conversations that once felt normal now leave you drained. Places that once felt comfortable now feel heavy. Connections that once felt meaningful now feel confusing. That is not random. That is awareness beginning to rise within you. I want you to recognize this clearly. Not every connection in your life is meant to move forward with you. Some were assigned to teach. Some were meant to strengthen. And some were only meant to show you what you must never repeat. But when the lesson is complete, holding on becomes a burden instead of a blessing. You have been trying to maintain what your spirit has already started releasing. And that tension you feel is not punishment. It is resistance between your past and your future. One part of you is trying to evolve, while another part is still attached to familiarity. That conflict creates confusion, and confusion delays clarity. I am not asking you to cut everything off impulsively. I am asking you to become aware of what drains your peace versus what strengthens it. Because protection is not always about removal. It is about discernment. Knowing what belongs in your space and what does not. There are influences around you that do not see your growth the way you see it. Some may even be comfortable with the version of you that stays unchanged. But I did not design you to remain the same. I designed you to evolve. And evolution often requires distance from what keeps you small. You will begin to notice something important. When you step back from certain energies, your mind becomes quieter. Your decisions become clearer. Your emotional weight becomes lighter. That is not coincidence. That is alignment returning to your system. But understand this: separation will not always feel comfortable at first. The mind resists what it is used to. Even when something is unhealthy, familiarity can make it feel safe. That is why discernment is necessary. Not everything that feels familiar is meant to stay. There are moments coming where you will need to choose your peace over approval, your clarity over connection, your direction over distraction. And those choices will define your next season more than anything else. I am not telling you to shut your heart. I am teaching you to protect it. Because a heart without boundaries becomes overwhelmed, and an overwhelmed heart cannot hear guidance clearly. You must learn to love without losing yourself in the process. You have given too much energy in places where it was never returned in the same measure. And slowly, that imbalance has affected your inner strength. But now you are becoming aware. And awareness is the beginning of restoration. I need you to observe something carefully. Every time you move away from what drains you, your intuition becomes stronger. Every time you ignore that inner discomfort, your clarity weakens. This is how your spirit communicates. Through alignment and misalignment. There are distractions that do not appear harmful at first, but their constant presence keeps your attention divided. And divided attention leads to delayed purpose. That is why focus is not just productivity, it is protection. You are entering a phase where clarity will matter more than speed. You will be tempted to rush decisions, rush relationships, rush outcomes. But rushing will only reconnect you with confusion. Stillness will reconnect you with direction. Do not underestimate the importance of emotional peace. If something consistently disturbs your peace, it is not aligned with your growth. You do not need to force yourself to tolerate what continuously weakens your inner state. There are also cycles you are being asked to step out of. Repeated patterns that no longer serve your evolution. You may have justified them before, but justification does not equal alignment. And what is not aligned will always create friction in your life. I am guiding you toward protection, not restriction. Because true protection does not limit your life. It preserves your energy for what is meant for you. And what is meant for you will never require you to abandon your peace. You are also being guided away from confusion, disguised as opportunity. Not every open door is meant for you to walk through. Some doors exist only to test your awareness. And if you enter without discernment, you will learn through delay instead of clarity. I need you to start trusting what you feel, not just what you see. Because what you see can be influenced, but what you feel in alignment cannot be easily faked. Your spirit recognizes truth before your mind understands it. There is a version of you that is emerging now, stronger, more focused, more aware. But that version cannot fully rise if you continue carrying everything from your past into your present. Some things must be released so your future can expand. You will not lose yourself by letting go of what drains you. You will find yourself again, clearer, lighter, more aligned with who you were always meant to be. And I need you to understand this deeply. Protection is not separation from life. It is separation from misalignment. Because when you are aligned, everything that is meant for you will find you naturally. Do not fear this process. Do not resist it. You are not losing anything that belongs to you. You are only being guided away from what cannot grow with you. And now, you are standing in a transition, a moment where awareness is turning into action, where understanding must turn into decision, and where clarity must turn into movement. This is your protection phase, and it is shaping your next direction more than you realize. My child, now I want you to breathe within this understanding. Everything I have shown you so far was never meant to leave you in fear or confusion. It was meant to bring you back to clarity, to bring you back to yourself, and to prepare you for what is already being formed ahead of you. You have walked through noise, through uncertainty, through emotional weight that you did not always know how to explain. But I was there in all of it. Even in the moments when you felt alone. Even in the moments when you questioned your direction. Even in the silence that felt heavy. I never stepped away from you. What you are beginning to feel now is healing. Not instant healing, not rushed healing, but steady restoration. The kind that rebuilds you from within. The kind that does not just remove pain, but replaces it with understanding. You are not becoming empty. You are becoming clear. I know there were moments when you felt like things were not making sense. When doors closed unexpectedly, when people changed, when plans shifted without warning, but nothing was wasted. Every delay, every pause, every redirection was shaping your strength, even when you could not see it at the time. Now you are beginning to see differently. Not everything that left you was a loss. Some of it was protection. Some of it was preparation. And some of it was simply not meant to continue into the version of your life you are stepping into now. You are entering a season where confusion will no longer define you. Clarity is beginning to take its place, and with clarity comes peace. Not because everything becomes perfect, but because you finally begin to understand what is meant for you and what is not. I need you to recognize something important. You are not behind in life. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are being realigned. And realignment often feels like delay to those who do not understand the process. But in truth, it is preparation for something more stable than what you had before. There is a calm strength forming within you now. A strength that does not depend on external validation. A strength that does not collapse when things change. A strength that understands that peace is not found outside of you. It is built within you. You will begin to notice that certain things no longer disturb you the way they used to. Situations that once overwhelmed, you will start to feel distant. That is not because life is becoming easier. It is because you are becoming stronger. Healing does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it feels like quiet acceptance. Sometimes it feels like detachment from what once held emotional weight. And sometimes it feels like finally being able to breathe without heaviness in your chest. I am restoring your inner balance, the part of you that was stretched too thin, the part of you that carried too much without support, the part of you that kept moving even when you were emotionally tired. I am bringing that part back into alignment. You will no longer have to chase clarity. It will begin to meet you where you are. You will no longer feel constantly pulled in different directions. Your path will begin to simplify. Not because the world changes first, but because you change how you see it. There is a quiet transformation happening within you that others may not immediately notice, but you will feel it deeply. Your decisions will become more intentional. Your reactions will become more balanced. Your thoughts will become less scattered. This is the beginning of emotional restoration, and with it comes stability. Not the kind that depends on circumstances, but the kind that remains steady even when circumstances shift. I need you to trust the process you are in right now, even if you do not fully understand it yet, because understanding often comes after transformation, not before it. You are not meant to see everything at once. You are meant to grow into it step by step. You are being prepared for peace that lasts, not peace that disappears when life becomes difficult. You are being guided toward clarity that does not depend on external noise, but on internal alignment. There will still be moments where you reflect on your past, but those reflections will no longer carry the same emotional weight. Instead, they will bring understanding. You will begin to see why certain things had to happen the way they did. And when that understanding arrives, forgiveness becomes easier. Not just forgiveness of others, but also forgiveness of yourself. For the times you did not know better. For the times you stayed too long. For the times you ignored your own inner voice. You were always learning. Even in the moments that felt uncertain, even in the moments that felt painful. Nothing about your journey was wasted. Everything contributed to the awareness you now carry. Now I am leading you into a space of stability, a space where your mind is calmer, your heart is lighter, and your direction is clearer. Not because life becomes perfect, but because you begin to stand differently within it. You will no longer be as easily shaken by external changes, because your foundation is being rebuilt from within. And what is built within cannot be easily destroyed by what happens outside of you. I am not just guiding you out of confusion. I am guiding you into understanding, and understanding changes everything. It changes how you see yourself, how you see others, and how you move through life. There is a promise within this process, a promise that what is meant for you will not miss you, a promise that what aligns with your purpose will not be confused with what does not. A promise that your path will become clearer as you continue to trust this inner guidance. You are not walking alone. You were never walking alone. Even when it felt silent, even when it felt unclear, even when it felt like nothing was happening. You were being held, guided, and shaped. And now, you are stepping into a new awareness, one where peace is not something you search for, but something you carry. One where clarity is not rare, but natural. One where your direction feels steady, even in uncertainty. This is your healing. This is your restoration. And this is your promise being fulfilled, quietly, steadily, and completely within your life. If this video is truly meant just for you, then pause for a moment and look within yourself. Are you walking a path of truth, patience, and faith? Do you try to stay honest in your actions and believe in the higher power that guides you every day? If your answer is yes, then this message is for you. You were chosen because you are able to listen, understand, and create change. Don't overthink it. Just feel that inner voice guiding you in the right direction. Now, there's a small step you can take. If this message touched you, you can offer a little support so this inspiration can reach more people. It doesn't have to be much. You can start with just $3 or choose $5 or $10. The link is in the description. Your small contribution can bring light into someone else's life, and it can inspire you as well. Join in and be part of this journey.